Trump King here. Welcome to another episode coming at you from ChooseYourRelationships.com. Why do side chicks matter? And I know this is a very controversial subject to especially women. I think much more controversial to women than guys, because a lot of women have ego and they think they can be all things to every man. It's like, but personally, I've never I don't disrespect any female, regardless of what I might think about her and her character and how she get down, how she carry herself in public. However, I got enough sense to know, I figured out a long time ago, that you can't settle down with every woman. You can't have a family with every woman. And you can't have a baby with every woman. Or you shouldn't have a baby with every woman. Now, I know some guys get caught up. Some guys make mistakes. Some guys might have gotten bamboozled, or the woman might have misrepresented themselves, and maybe some things they didn't see in the beginning, because we tend, in relationships, and when we interact with each other, we tend to lie to each other, because a lot of people don't think they can be honest with each other, and some people, to be honest, can't be honest with each other, because if they was honest in the beginning, they know they wouldn't have a chance with the guy or the girl. So a lot of people feel like they have to lie, but here's the kicker: it doesn't work, because what's gonna happen is, after the other person sees the real you and not the representer or the facade that you've been using for the past 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 5 years, once the dark side of you comes out, the person's gonna be like, well, wait a minute, this person's not who I thought it was. And you probably want or expect that person to accept everything, because a lot of women will do this. They'll present themselves in a way that they think the guy would like. Then probably months, years go by, and once they have some level of commitment, it could be marriage, could be a baby, or maybe they move in together, then that's when the egomaniac kicks in. That's when the person gets complacent and be like, "Oh, okay, forget about it. I don't gotta do all that no more. I can be me now." And then a lot of women expect the guy to go along with it. And then they'll manipulate the guy and say, well, if you love me, you would accept me for who I am. But here's the problem with that way of thinking. Everybody can't take everything, because there's different levels, to this. Some people might not be able to take your other side. Maybe this is why I say, don't settle with any woman or get married to any woman or any man if you haven't seen them in a stressful situation, if you haven't seen them angry, or if they never flipped out. or if you never seen that dark side. And then the thing you have to take into consideration, how long does that other side of them last? Does it last for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 days, a week, 2 weeks, 30 days? And how do they react? Do they curse everybody out, including you? Do they embarrass you in front of your friends and family? You know what I'm saying? Can you put up with that? Whatever that anger, when that anger comes out, that other side comes out, can you take that? Can you put up with that? And this is why side chicks matter. Because some of these guys, even some women, need peace of mind. You know, some guys just need a new idea sometimes. They need a new person to talk to. They need some new cookies every now and then. And they need to rejuvenate themselves. They need something fresh, something new, something different. And sometimes, based on my experience, I just needed to get some shit done that maybe the women I was with at the time, they just couldn't do it. You know, because every woman I get with, I don't assume that they know how to do everything that I'm into. You know, like for example, I remember at one time, a couple years back, I think I was trying to do I needed a cover I need a picture for I think it was like a DVD, a CD cover. Yeah, that's what it was. I needed a picture for a CD cover made, right, with me and one of my girls. Now, at the time, I mean, I could have gotten a couple women to do it, but I wanted my girl to do it, right? But she didn't want to do it because she didn't feel comfortable being in the spotlight. She didn't like the attention, right? So I had to get somebody else to do it because I didn't want it to be like a burden, and I didn't want to keep having to ask her to do something that she felt uncomfortable to do. So that's just a good example. You know, some women, even some guys, they're just not built for that. Just not built for the spotlight. Some people just want to be in the stands like cheerleaders. Some people don't want to be trendsetters. Some people don't want to be on the stage talking. Some people don't want to be on camera. Some people just want to be what they want to be. Average, mediocre, sometimes even below average. So, I mean, it's logical and practical to think that whoever you get involved with, they're not going to be able to live up to all your desires, fantasies, or expectations. So you're probably going to have some friends, women and guys. You got to have some friends because it takes a village. You need support in doing whatever you got to do. This world is a big world that we live in. So, you know, that's just how that is. You know, but a lot of women, especially, they get all emotional and about this. So, and they act like they have a real problem with the side chicks. But here's the thing though. When it comes to side chicks, a lot of women don't distinguish themselves from them. If you talk about side chicks, a lot of women kind of lump themselves in with the side chicks. But when it comes to a guy having a side chick, that's when they separate themselves because they have a problem with it. So if it's kind of like they do what benefits them. It's more of an ego thing because, a lot of women think they can be all things to the guy that they're with. But me as a man, I know I can't be all things to all women or to every woman that I get involved with. So I need support. I need support from my friends. I need support from my family. And that's how it is. If I have kids one day, which I will, I need support from my kids too. It takes a village. You can't do everything by yourself. It's only 24 hours in a day. So you can't be all places at one time. And that's just how that is. And if we are going to be honest, if it wasn't for side chicks, these guys, they're already doing it anyway. These guys would be beating their wives' ass and their girlfriend's ass. I mean, they're already doing it anyway, but it would be worse. Because it's like I said, is living in America, you got to think about it. Living in America is not a healthy environment to live in. In a lot of these big cities and a lot of these towns, it's not the best place to live. It's not. If you really pay attention to how most people interact with each other, most people aren't living in harmony. A lot of families don't get along. A lot of people that you work with don't get along. They just work together. They just put up with their boss or their co-workers or whoever they work with, but they're not in harmony together. They just tolerate each other. And that's not a very healthy way to function and live and prosper amongst each other as people. So a lot of people are very stressed and they're overworked, and a lot of people are broken and they're very bored, and they're not really living the life that they wanted to live. So if that's the case, it's almost impossible to have a good relationship with one person if you're not happy with who you are. You might not even know who you are. If you don't know who you are and not happy with who you are and not happy with the way your life and how things have been going, it's going to be almost impossible to have a healthy relationship with someone else and to even get to know someone else. So this is why side chicks matter, because these guys and people in general are stressed. They need an outlet. This is why a lot of people drink. And this is where alcohol comes in. Alcohol and drugs and weed and everything comes into play, because people need an outlet. People need to get out of their minds, out of their heads, and be in another space and mentally for a couple of hours. And then they'll come back down the reality a couple of hours later or the next day, and they do the same shit over again for the most part. But this is why side chicks matter. And I know a lot of people won't like this. You might not like it if you listen to me right now. But if you really sit down and really think about it on a practical level, and especially if you had the experience that I've had or similar experience, you would see what I'm talking about. I'm making a valid point. It really makes sense if you take the emotions out of it, So if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel, check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. Until next time, Sharp Game is out. Peace.